Ever thought about creating your own CFexpress card? Imagine having lightning fast storage at a fraction of the cost of commercial cards. And let's be honest, it's also just a really fun tech project. So, can a DIY solution actually compete with off-the-shelf performance? We're about to find out. Hi, Joe here from Shutter Speak Photography. It's very nice to see your smiling face again here on YouTube. As someone who's photographed the National Hockey League, major New York City concerts, weddings, and countless other events, I know how crucial reliable storage is. My work has appeared in newspapers, magazines, and yes, even on a concert t-shirt. Today, we are diving into a project that's perfect for photographers and videographers looking to maximize performance without maximizing out their wallets. We'll be using the ZITAY CFexpress Type B card to NVMe M2 2230 SSD adapter, which enables you to use compact M2 SSDs in your camera with ease, providing compatibility and heat efficient management. The ZITAY adapter itself supports maximum read speeds of around 1,800 megabytes per second and write speeds of up to about 1,200 megabytes per second, which is lower than the capabilities of the M2 drive, but still matches the write speed ceiling of cameras like the Nikon Z8, which tops out at around 1,700 megabytes per second. Paired with it is the high-performance SABRENT Rocket 2230 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, featuring PCIe Gen 4 technology that boosts read speeds of up to 4,750 megabytes per second and write speeds up to 4,300 megabytes per second. Of course, these blazing speeds will be limited by the ZITAY adapter's maximum throughput, but to keep things running cool and stable, we'll also add a little Arctic MX6 thermal paste. Now, you might be wondering, is this a clever hack, or are we basically recreating what real CFexpress cards already do? Great question. Most commercial CFexpress cards actually use NVMe SSDs inside, very similar to what we're using here. The difference lies mostly in the packaging, thermal design, firmware optimization, and of course, the price markup. So in a way, we're not cheating the system, we're just taking a peek behind the curtain and doing it ourselves. And speaking of price markups, let's talk numbers. The ZITAY adapter runs about $45, and the SABRENT Rocket 2230 SSD is around $79. So you're looking at a cost of roughly $124. Compare that to a 1 terabyte CFexpress Type B card from a major brand, which can easily cost from $200 to $300 or more. That's some serious savings, enough to treat yourself to a nice dinner or maybe a few extra camera batteries. Let's build it, and then we'll put this DIY CFexpress card to the test, comparing real-world results against the manufacturer's specs to see if this affordable solution really delivers. So stick around and let's find out if building your own CFexpress card is the smart way to boost your camera's performance. And a little spoiler alert, I was actually very surprised by the results. Stick around. So one of the things that I should say is that this video is not sponsored by anybody. It's parts that I purchase on Amazon. There will be some links so you can purchase these. And of course, if you do purchase them through Amazon, I get a little bit of commission. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It just helps run the channel. And it's a nice way to say thank you if this video does help you. But it's not sponsored by anybody. There's nothing that I get out of this. And this will either work or it won't. We're going to put it together. We're going to test it in the Z8. We're going to shoot some 8K video. We're going to run some speed tests. And we're going to see what this really can do and if it's worth your time or not. So these are keyed, if you can see that there. you can only put this in one way. You can't do this wrong. So you're literally just gonna drop it right in there like that and put that in, okay? And this can come loose, no big deal there. It's all keyed together there, as you can see. So as long as everything's in the right spot, and actually you can even take this little piece out and put it together. Now you'll notice there's a sticker on the front, there is a sticker on the back, okay? Some people will tell you to take the sticker off before you put the thermal paste on there. I'm gonna tell you that that's not a good idea, okay? The stickers actually reduce the temperature of these drives. So if you take the sticker off, you're actually going to reduce its ability to dissipate heat. So leave the sticker on there, and we're just gonna now apply a dot of thermal paste. Okay, the thermal paste I'm using is Arctic MX6, but you know, that's my personal favorite. If you have something else at home, feel free to use it. If you don't, this is definitely the stuff to get. It, like I said, about $7, and you're just really going to put just a dot of it. It's got a little plunger here, and we're just going to drop a little, maybe pea-sized shape, a pea-sized ball of thermal paste there, and that's just going to help conduct some of the heat onto the case. And that's it, as simple as that, and that's done. Now, next step is line it all up, and we are going to put the case on, and we're going to drop these screws in. They're very small, if you can see them, so just be careful with that. And let's line this up, make sure we got it the right way. Oops, thermal paste is already getting stuck on there. All right, there we go. And just be patient with the process, but I mean, this shouldn't take you more than a minute or two to get this whole thing together. And there we go. All right, so that is that. Now we're just going to apply the screws, and in a minute or two, we will have a CFexpress card. All right. And we now have a 1 terabyte CFexpress card, just like that. That simple, literally that simple. Let's give it a try. All right, we've built the card. We have our 1 terabyte CFexpress card. Let's put it into the camera and give it a try. I'm going to insert it and into the Nikon Z8. Fits perfectly, by the way. No issues there with fit. And let's shoot at 20 frames per second raw and give it a go. You ready? Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. All right, let's switch it up to JPEG. Now, I would expect at 30 frames per second JPEG, we're not going to run into any issues here. Oh yeah, there we go. Yep. All right, so obviously that works really well, and we are writing a little bit to the buffer right now, but yep, it's already stopped. But works fantastic. Pops right out, no issues, not really warm or anything like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to shoot some 8K video and see how that works out. Okay, so I let the 8K test run for about 15 minutes solid. The camera started getting an overheat warning, and I ended up shutting it off. However, it was the camera that was hot, not the card. When I took the card out, it wasn't actually really all that hot to the touch. It was a little bit warm, but not hot. So it was the camera itself that started overheating from shooting the 8K for 15 minutes solid, but the card itself performed perfectly. Now let's check out the speed test, and I think this is where you're going to really be shocked. Okay, so we're really concerned about the top line here, and look at that right off the bat. Read speed, 3,344 megabytes per second, way above the advertised speed of the ZITAY adapter. And now look at the write speed, 2,814 megabytes per second. That's well over 1,000 megabytes per second above what the Nikon Z8 is even capable of writing. So there's just no question you're going to get phenomenal performance out of this. I mean, it way exceeds what the Nikon Z8 is capable of. Now, there's one thing that is important to note. The drive that we use, that SABRENT 1 terabyte drive, it is a PCI Express 4 drive, and there are some CFexpress cards that are now coming out using this PCI Express 4 standard. However, I will tell you that there are no cameras that are capable of accepting it and using these speeds right now. So even if you were to get one of those cards, it would be way, way more expensive than building it ourselves. So performance-wise here, it's absolutely incredible. I'm thrilled with the performance. And I ran this test multiple times on Mac and on PC, and the results are the same. Okay, up next we have a store-bought card, a pro grade card that states it had speeds up to 1,700 megabytes per second. And you're seeing on the read, we're getting somewhat close to that, but write speed is not anywhere even in the ballpark of our homemade card. Just topping in somewhere right around this mark here, around 370 something megabytes per second. So our homemade card absolutely crushes this store-bought card. So just a little comparison for you there. And I'm not going to have you sit through this entire test, but really, like I said, you're going to see the results are pretty much across the board. Our card just crushes the store-bought card. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing. Also, if you want to keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group. The link's going to be down in the description below the video. I appreciate you watching this, YouTube. And let me know, have you ever built a CFexpress card? And what were the results? How did it work out for you? And if you're going to build this one, let me know about that. I appreciate you watching. Thank you, everybody. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.